up to 4 units in the area. So pretty cool. We'll see how much like utility he gets out of this. But this is game number 1 here. For those of you who are just tuning in, it's our first game of the day, our first series of the day. All-Stars here versus Sin Compromiso. And if I'm Sin Compromiso, I'm probably feeling pretty good. Dark Mago is on one of his absolute best heroes, his Siggy, as you one of his Siggies, as people like to say. I think that's what the Zoomers are saying nowadays.
A few people say that. Dota's with the old people, not the Zoomers. I actually didn't even know the Searing Chains came out from the Remnant. It's so rare to see this facet. But that's pretty cool.
That's the only thing that makes it good. I think the extra Searing Chains targets was okay, but then they nerfed the Searing Chain targets back down because it was OP, and then they added it to Chain Gang. But it always, the main thing was you can throw your Remnants out and Searing Chains with the Remnants. Which is kind of a cool idea, especially if you get like the Aghanim Scepter and the Shard, right? Because if someone dies, it creates a Remnant under them. And that might actually... Oh! Genic, a blind dead shot there, doesn't actually find the Shadow Shaman, so Hanzama will grab himself the Bounty Rune, I believe. That'll just be a quick 2 for 2, no, 3 for 1. All right, 3 for All-Stars.
Quick D ward though from Panda. A little money for himself into the lane. This will be a Lina carry in the end, since it was the Dragon Knight mid into the Ember. With the Tusk, that's a pretty strong lane, and you should be able to keep your distance from the Bristleback, so you're not too scared. Though if you do get dead shot back from Lina, you're very likely to die right after that. So she'll have to be a little careful with where she stands. Carry Lina did get a nerf recently where you were double dipping in Spell Amp. Like you would Spell Amp your abilities, which would give you more combustion damage. Or no, sorry, not combustion. The slow burn, and then the slow burn would then also get Spell Amp. But from Carry Lina, it's just Thermal Runaway, which is still the same as it used to be.
Yep. As strong as... I mean, I think even the mid Linas are going Thermal Runaway now. Runaway. Just because it's... Like, with how fast you can play the map, like the cooldown on this ability is not that long. Like Laguna Blade is a pretty spammable spell, to be honest, and like I'm seeing Linas like actually just especially in the late game once they have like talents and items, they'll just like Laguna Blade a random creep to have like max stacks and just blow down creep waves and stuff. You put like 1 point in your stun, max out Dragon Slave, and then go stats. It actually works out well.
They're fast.
It should be a 4-1-4 stats, I'm pretty sure.
For Carry Lina, I think so. I think that's a good one to go for since you are mostly about the right click. Bristleback, back to going Seeing Red in the off lane. For a while we had the Snot Rocket, that was a little bit more popular, but the radius on that one got nerfed, so it's a little harder to apply, especially versus a hero like Lina. So it might be going for a bit more of a carry focus / right click damage, which actually isn't guaranteed. Like you can actually still go Seeing Red and still do more utility, but I guess it remains to be seen. It was more common to go Snot Rocket if you were planning to be utility, and Seeing Red if you were going to do things like Aghanims and damage type items, Sanj Yasha, all of that.
Certain matchups also just were favored for that facet, like being able to chase down heroes. If you thought you could control the creep wave and they had like not super mobile heroes or heroes that you know, were playing closer up in the lane, like you said, not the Lina, you might still go Snot Rocket just because of how powerful the slow is, like a single point in Nasal Goo can be in the lane. But
you see Dragon Knight off to a good start.
yeah,
Ember's not being shut down nearly as hard as like versus a Monkey King or a Huskar, but you get an early CS lead. You know, you hit 6 first before Ember can hit 6. Steal the first power rune away. Slow down that beginning tempo.
I still will never understand how Parker's name is inverted. You know?
Hex secrets.
Man, it takes me back to the days of, I'm about to date myself, MySpace and modifying your profile to do some cool stuff. You ever do that? You ever go in and do a bunch of the editing on your profile, Zach?
No, I never had a MySpace. This is why no one says Siggy's here, dude. I told you, this is for the old. This is the old people game.
Talking about MySpace. Zuber's looking for a game. You go play. They're all playing other stuff. At his first blood for Genic here in the bottom lane. That was a TP back into the lane, if I'm not mistaken, after he was roaming. So good use of that, and good attempt from ALLSTARS, like trying to punish the rotation away from the lane, but because they're so deep, this is where that lane equilibrium ends up making a big difference.
I think it might have been actually the Muerta who TP'd back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Muerta TP'd back in, yeah.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, she was roaming.
Yeah, Tusk didn't TP, so he's back in the lane. Not going to miss out too much on that. Muerta gonna head over to start stacking. You do have the Bristleback and the Sven on your team. Both of them want those stacks. Gonna see that one of the camps is blocked too, so get those open.
A lot of damage top down to Hanzama, but you gotta remember, Shadow Shaman, he's got the foul play. It might keep him alive. Nope, not long enough. And a salve popped from the Clockwork. He'll get out. And this is where that, you know, Clockwork Sven ends up doing really well into this Dawnbreaker. She couldn't use the Starbreaker there to secure the kill because there was too many potential stuns coming through. Mid lane, Chain Gang, roots up this Dragon Knight, but does he have the damage? In comes the Shadow Shaman. The Shackles manages to keep the Dragon Knight in this one. Wow, that is very, very close on that TP timing.
Main dead shot. Thinking. Dragon Knight. He's like debating. It's like, do I dare come back in? It's like, well, I could just get hit by a random ability and die. Eventually decides to go home.
Okay, this is the longest chase for the Dawnbreaker, but she just happens to get the courier on the way out, and it's the boots from the Clockwork. And I think he survives as a result. Yeah, that's big.
Tusk, despite the Dragon Knight getting knocked out of lane, you think you're going to secure the power rune for your Ember. Tusk actually steals away an illusion rune. At least not the greatest rune in the world for the Ember, but doesn't get that bottle refill. I see another sentry committed to block the ancient camps. Returning back to the mid to get that early pressure in with the Dragon Knight. Talking earlier about the denies the Dragon Knight can get over the Ember. We got the level 6 Dragon form, but Ember doesn't have his 6 yet. He's really scared to walk in without that. Yeah, he finally gets it, and now he's willing to go creep aggro. But you've lost half your tower, which is solid.
Ooh, they're going to make a play for the Wisdom Shrine, and Clockwork will be able to secure it, as you did pop God Strength as well. Hanzama's trying to get the Shackles here. If he does, they might be able to get the kill. BSK waiting for an opening. Blood Grenade out. Shards will block him in. Celestial Hammer should finish the job, and it does. Tag team into the Starbreaker. Double kill for the Shaman. They do punish
the farming Clockwork cogs.
Yeah, dude, the farming Clockwork cogs. I mean, the fact that Tusk and Shadow Shaman are just so strong early. If these were any other supports, you probably don't get that kill. Like, Clockwork would almost guaranteed win that trade, but Tusk and Shadow Shaman are kind of beefy.
Yeah, you do steal the shrine, and if it was just Clockwork dying, it would be 1000% worth it. But Sven actually dying as well without getting any return kills makes it a little dicey, but not going to be the end of the world either way. Especially with the space made, because both supports rotated over. This bottom tower falling quickly, and doesn't look like they have anyone to come to defend it. Trying to match his movement by taking mid, but bottom's already really down, so here's Genic.
Nice cogs.
Gets both.
Pulls them both, and there's the Searing Chains into the remnants of back, and I mean, dude, I have played so many games of Ember Spirit, but not one of them has been under the Chain Gang facet, and watching Dark Mago play this, it is so weird to watch because it is very different from the regular Ember Spirit. Like, he's playing it as like from range, just like dancing in and out of fights with remnants instead of like committing and trying to burn heroes that way. It's really bizarre, but it's kind of cool.
I think that's fine this game too. I mean, you have a Bristle and a Sven on your team. Like, they're the ones who are going to be going in, doing a lot of the physical damage. So if you just help lock people down, apply a bit more magic damage with the chain gang hitting multiple people, you know, I think that's actually pretty good.
Sacred,
but
ooh, the Dawnbreaker's going to come in as well. That should be enough. Killings him going to Dynamo, so that'll help get him closer to that Maelstrom. So far, a good start here from ALLSTARS, right? We were worried about them in the lane phase because yesterday they struggled.
Struggling a little bit.
It's a very nice grab here onto the Shadow Shaman, looking for BSK as well. And that was what I was talking about. The way he's playing the Ember changed so dramatically. Because normally you're using like Sleight of Fist to set up your chains. He's using his remnants to do so, and then saving his Sleight of Fist to dodge abilities, which is pretty cool. I'm curious if he's going to buy an early shard, because it is one of those things, like he's going Vessel right now, or at least has the urn completed. It's a very good urn game. And he's maxing Flame Guards. He's building like for full magic damage. Bottom lane, Laguna comes out. They get the kill onto the Clockwork, but the big kill instead is going to be that Lina. Double kill for Sacred on the Bristleback as he's closing in on that Blade Mail. And those are some big finds. They finally managed to take down the mid tower, but Dark Mago gets the deny instead. So a little bit less gold going the way of ALLSTARS for that one.
Although Lina's having, you know, some return kills, it's not quite the same. It's just being left perfectly alone. So you see Sven in the top lane, just 1-1, but quietly farming away. Top net worth, nearly 6,000 gold, and I think there's even some stacks for him. Not the most because they were contested and blocked, but a couple stacks that have yet to be even cleared by this Sven.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was like, I feel like Parker has been left alone, but I also feel like he's had stacks of his own to farm because he's got like tons of CS already, like to his name, 119, 120. I also want to point out something kind of cheeky, but they're going to go ahead and dive into the top lane here. The wraparound as they bring 3 heroes. Dark Mago comes in on the Ember Spirit, gonna do what he can, but see if he actually has the damn. Dude, the Immolation is just destroying these guys, but now with his first set of urn charges, might look for more. Sacred coming in as well on the Bristleback, but they need another hero, and they're not gonna have it. Clockwork not quite yet in range. Something I was gonna point out, I've never seen this before. Mask of Madness Echo Saber, he's casting Mask of Madness, disassembling it into Echo once it's been cast, and he's just going back and forth between them.
That's really funny. I like that a lot, actually. We don't
watch. We'll do it right now.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yeah. This is, I've never seen this happen before, but like he knows like Mask of Madness is going to be on cooldown, so I might as well have my full Echo Saber and farm faster, and then I'll reassemble it after the fact. I'm griefing my observer right now. I'm sorry.
We've seen Tusks die a million times. We've never seen Mask of Madness Echo Saber tech. At least you and I haven't. I agree. I think this stuff's really cool. It's rare. Usually when you can disassemble and reassemble, it's too strong. The equivalent of this used to be some arcane boot stuff. You could like disassemble arcane boots, get tranquils, disassemble those, or like arcane boots, create a lotus orb, disassemble, recreate the arcane when you like wanted to top your team up. Then...
Or it was like Aether Lens, right? It was the arcane boots Aether Lens one that was also really strong, and then like Octarine, everything built out of it.
Yeah, so we used to have more disassemble tricks, and then they slowly removed them. But it's cool to see the Mask of Madness and the Echo being used. Sven farmed so fast, he's rebuilt both of them anyways.
Yeah.
So it was really an efficiency thing for like a minute, but still pretty cool, you know? Speeds you up like, I don't know, 10, 20 seconds, who knows, between the amount of farm. You know, he got killed, so it interrupted him a little. But the idea is really cool. And when you're being left alone to farm, I mean, you got nothing else going on, you know? So just disassemble your items. It's the mid tower. Only possible thanks to that new tech. Finding the dragon is pretty deep.
There's a lot of TPs coming. Sacred is going to show up as well. Dawnbreaker is here. He needs help. Dark Magos not going to get it in time, but here comes the Sven, a 3-hero Stormhammer. Oh my goodness. He just chops through him, and Sacred Tanky does get his back turned there to survive at the moment, but Dynamo will catch a Stormhammer to finish this one off. Parker should survive here against the tower. Does get the Warcraft, a little bit of extra armor.
Just go for it, Sven. Just go for it.
Around now. Uh-oh. Yeah, triple kill instead. Out of gas there on the Shaman. And Sven, quite a bit stronger.
Yeah, I was worried about that being too deep behind the tier 2 at 15 minutes. And we see the Ember gets punished for it. But fortunately, Clockwork pulls 3 in together with the expanded armature and sets up Sven to just some huge God Strength cleave hits there. This is classic Sven gameplay there. Yeah, we get a replay, right? Everyone's baited in like, oh, quickly, we have to burst Ember before he remnants out here. But it just baits you all in together, cleaned up by the quills and the Sven cleave.
Yeah. Sacred also got his blade mail off at like the perfect time. Like right when Dawnbreaker starts throwing the Starbreaker and all the Lena spells are coming in, he manages to turn his back and then blade mail, and then they lose like a quarter of their HP each just because of that. So makes it even easier for Parker.
I like Parker was running.
He's like, oh, that was cool. Nice, guys. Thanks.
I like that Parker was running away, and Yannick was probably like, what are you doing? Just kill that guy. It's like, oh yeah, I can kill him.
Oh, there is nowhere to go here at the moment. There's slight change. Okay. He does manage to escape. Clockwork stuck here. Another change comes out. This one doesn't. It hits all 4 lane creeps instead of the Dragon Knight. Very unlucky there for Dark Mago.
Someone calculate those odds. That's pretty unlucky.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Dawnbreaker's going to rejoin him in the mid lane. Dark Mago does have another Vessel. Blade Mail out here from Sacred. The trades here onto 3. He will remnant back across. There's your Sleight of Fist. They are burning, but Dynamo doing some work, but he just dies to the quills, and now the spam in from this Ember is just adding up a triple kill. Sacred lives through it all.
I think ALLSTARS might have griefed themselves there. Attacking the Bristleback, just activated more Quill Spray. And, I mean, he's got Chipped Vest and the Blade Mail as well. It's almost not worth your time hitting this Bristleback at this point. They have a lot of heroes who hit quickly but lightly, and that's exactly, yeah, look, yeah, they're tipping stuff around. They know. It's like, sick play, guys. Go in, get hit, kill enemy team. Excellent work.
When this Mage Slayer is done, this Ember Sphere is going to be a massive issue. It's all magic damage and burn, which they have like several heroes that really cannot play against this. Like Dawnbreaker's Shard gives her debuff immunity, but it's not a dispel, so she can't really get rid of the Vessel combo. And then at the same time, like Dragon Knight is like his worst nightmare. We're gonna see them shackle up here. The blink reveal from the Shaman will grab the Clockwork. Panda does hook shot to safety.
I think he's,
he's living.
Okay.
He's a liver. For a moment, I was like, he's given up. And then I think even he was surprised. He's like, wait a minute. I can get out of here.
Yeah, he got lucky. The camp he hookshotted to is not that strong of a camp, so they didn't kill him as he walked out. Yeah, back to the Ember build real quick. I actually really like this because I don't know if we're going to see a bunch of Chain Gang like going forward, but at least in this game, I like the pivot to it and then to get the Spirit Vessel because it's good versus Dragon Knight Dawnbreaker, but it's also just more magic damage, and that way you're not like 3 cores all doing physical damage, which makes it really easy to itemize against. He's adding a bit more magic damage by going Chain Gang and getting this Spirit Vessel, and he's still gonna get the Mage Layer because I mean it's just a good item on Ember, but it adds that diversity that your team needs, as well as the extra lockdown from the chains. So I'll be excited to see if they play it again, if he keeps doing it, since from what I've seen, it's been still like double hit, but maybe there has been a switch up in the build that I haven't noticed.
I think the Dark Mago getting a little talking to from our admins. I think Dark Mago is one of those people who's probably got, like, played a lot of games on the Ember practicing this. Like, this is one of his favorite heroes. So if he's gonna go for something like Chain Gang, I have to imagine he's been pubbing it. And you just can't see, right, because of the API change. Oh, does he have the stun? Parker. Oh, there's a dead shot instead from downtown. We'll set up another kill here. Just memeing on him at that point with the canceling.
That'll be the tier 2 tower as well. He's still got God Strike duration here. It's little early.
I think he just back for Tormentor, right? Like get the wave and then bail?
Yeah, I was gonna say you could maybe consider Roche, but it's difficult without God Strength, and it's a little early to do it without it. But yeah, Tormentor should be a much safer objective. You actually don't even need that many people because you have the Bristleback, so it might just be Genic and Sacred, though I think if they try it with these two, I think Genic's about to be
Parker's
a sacrifice.
Yeah, it's like Parker's coming. He just needs to stack up the goo. So they should be able to do this. Yeah, Genic will get the shard. Not the best one, unfortunately. I think you'd much rather have Jetpack here. Mid lane, Panda goes down. Now Chain's here on the 2 with the Vessel. Dark Mago again, he's just trying to commit. He has an Illusion Rune, but does he have an escape? He gets the Remnant to dodge the Dawnbreaker. Another Remnant on through. The Chains will hold down this Dawnbreaker with another Spirit Vessel charge as the Bristleback continuing to just try and play aggressive, find these heroes. But for now, he will live. But I think they see or have an idea of where the Dawnbreaker... Oh yeah, Parker has a very good idea of where the Dawnbreaker is.
Pretty good. 15k at 21 minutes. God Strength is back up, so anytime you want to do Roche, you get just a solo kill on over here from Hanzama.
I mean, that's not bad. Clockwork gonna come in, hits that hook shot, and with this, I think Hanzama will die as well. On the backside of the fight, Parker is in deep pops. The God Strength, the BKB just chops through his first target. There's the chains onto 2. Lino will join him as Dark Mago sets up a Vessel, another Harpoon, another stun. Your base, it belongs to Compromiso. They will take themselves the full team wipe and look towards their next objective, which actually, mid-tower, they don't have a wave. Thanks to the Shaman Wards, it died, so they have to wait a little bit.
And reflecting on this game a bit, you know, I don't know, maybe a little early to do it. It's 22 minutes, but it's also an 18k gold lead, so it's really, you know, Compromiso looking pretty good here. I feel like this bottom lane for ALLSTARS needed to go a little better. Even though Shadow Shaman died in this kill time, by the way, I think it's worth it since they're so far behind.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, the Serpent Wards got farmed, which is a little too bad.
Yeah, this is just Parker with a BKB realizing, like, I win the game now.
Yeah, and so that's what I wanted, like, that's what led me to think about this, is like, Parker is doing so well, and then we see the Lina, like, 4 levels below, right? But that was, you saw the Bristle first pick, and you had more room in terms of counterpicking it, and yet their counterpick lanes just didn't really pay off. Parker
he got a little lost in the sauce there. Dynamo, I don't know if he's going to make it out of this one. Dragon Tail is out. Dawnbreaker's stun off the mark, but they just chainsaw him up thanks to the LSA. All right. Well, Compromiso is definitely giving them an avenue back into this game. We'll see how that ends up going for now. Genic looks like he's going to be left to die here. Too much damage coming in from the side of ALLSTARS. That's 3 for 1.
Can you steal
Starting
Roche?
off the back of a Sven pickoff.
I think you should try to steal Roche. It might be too hard, but you had Serpent Wards, level 2 Serpent Wards as well. We get a quick replay. I mean, this is the Shadow Shaman effect, right? Why this hero, one of the reasons he's so good is because even when you're behind like this, you have so much crowd control, and even if you have no money, you can lock someone down. Someone like Sven, who's top net worth, he can't use any of his items he has if he just is chain stunned.
Oh.
Unlike now, where he can use his items and just kill the enemy carry.
He's like, oh, it'd be a shame if I two-shot your Lina. Actually
One shot.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Roshan is up. They're gonna take it safe here, go and pick this. Don't really blame him on the other side. Panda's found himself another victim. This one's gonna be 999 on the Tusk.
Maybe heading over in that area to attempt to, you know, steal the Roche if possible. I think it's worth the risk if you're this far behind, but
I agree.
of course they're not gonna give it to him for free.
I mean, Sven is level 21. The next highest level on ALLSTARS is 16. And the Lina, his counterpart, is 15. Like, it is so hard for her to play this game. I think you're right. Like, the bottom lane needs to go a lot better. And I thought it was going decent, but Sacred's Bristleback is seemingly just very scary.
Well, I think some of it was when Parker and Panda went for that Wisdom Shrine steal. They died, and we were like, I don't know if that's worth it. But the support rotations that brought it over, they capitalized on it by taking the bottom tier 1 tower, which then, although that lane had been going okay, Lina's now just kind of like farming the jungle, pushing the lanes out, but it opened up the room to now wrap around her with the Ember or just stumble on her in the jungle and slow her down with the Nasal Dew instead of having the safety of the tier 1 tower. And then I think she died 1 or 2 more times after that. So I don't know if that was the, the plan when you went to go steal the Wisdom Shrine, but it really led to a great series of events for Bristleback and to slow down the Lina, which, you know, has now led to potentially winning the game.
Yeah, they're gonna go for a smoke wraparound. Like, maybe you get the Clockwork, but if you actually look, Clockwork is jetpack flying exactly where he thinks they should come from, but instead they're just gonna take the head-on fight. They get the Aegis. On the backside of the fight, it's gonna be the BKB from Dark Mago, just burning these heroes down. He wants the Lina on top of her. There's gonna be the Laguna Blade, but it's just tickling. 3 hero chains right outside the fountain with the vessel continuing to burn them down. There is nowhere to go. Sacred will do the classic Bristleback thing, turn his back, kill the heroes. Benjamin not gonna be able to survive this one. A near full team wipe as Hanzama survives thanks to foul play in the fountain, but you're too far ahead. You're just too tanky as well. Like, you've ran out of damage.
I think you ran out of damage about 10 minutes ago. This Lina carry is viable, but I think once you start falling behind, there's a big drop-off on this hero because it's not as natural of a carry as other heroes. You kind of need to be winning the lane into being ahead. And when you go even in the lane into being killed a couple times and you fall behind, you just don't really have the damage. They found a couple kills, you know. That's the strength of the burst and the lockdown of the Shadow Shaman, but to win a full team fight, you don't have the damage.
Bristleback has S and Y and a heart, bro. He's about to, yeah, I was like, he's trying to get to the fountain, and he achieves that. Sacred kills 2 with the Quill Span.
He's just healing with the heart. He's gonna go back into the next 2.
Just getting some vision. Hanzama's like, please don't do it again. Sacred.
Please, don't do it again.
Yeah, he dies. Oh, he doesn't die.
He doesn't die.
The fountain explodes. Thanks to the GG. Sin Compromiso grabbed themselves. Honestly, if you're not picking Pudge, are you really playing Dota 2?
That's true. We get some real pub
He does end up
heroes
going
on
fresh.
this. It is fresh meat?
Right. Yeah, it is fresh meat. He did end up going fresh meat, switched last second. I think you're right. The idea with Rotten Core is it's strong in the lane. That's why you pick it. And when you're against a Phoenix and a Sven, I think if you walk up and try and dismember and auto attack a Phoenix, he's just going to fire spirit you and you're just going to cry. So I think fresh meat will be, it's a great facet for the game in general. Like, being able to get a ton of strength during dismember, it basically turns Pudge into a pseudo initiator because you just heal an insane amount when you dismember someone. Did they get a D ward in mid lane?
Not yet, but Ember did scout out where the ward
There
is,
was
what
a ward,
side
right?
it is.
Yeah, okay.
So Pango's already prepped it to be denied. It's down to 1 hit left. And
Okay.
there's the other observers are both by the safe lane bounties, hoping to find a first blood, which they see Lena walking around. I think they've got this one.
It hit daytime. She saw him. She pings it too. She's like, yeah, there's a ward there, guys. They would not make this path without it. So they are going to be able to have both wards of All-Stars de-warded immediately. Panda's coming right down. He's going to take this. There is a Phoenix nearby who might go for a deny on it, but not going to make it in time. So you will start the game no obs wards on the map. And Alina's still afraid, knowing that they're still hunting for her. So she will TP to the lane instead.
Slightly better positioning. I think that you can force the Lena kill. But at least you get the lane under the tower. That'll push out, and then that'll free up the Tusk to move around, which is, I expect, the overall game. This is a lot of damage.
Mid lane, Dark Mago. He goes double impact this time. Benjamin has to be careful. He has a slight, but he is playing behind the range creep, so he won't get the double strike. He might go for the slight
with
chains.
Searing Chains soon.
Nah, he's healing under the tower and has a, I think he had a Fairy Fire? No, he doesn't. Okay, but still, either way. Really good start for the Ember. 7-2. And a pretty substantial regen advantage as well. I mean, the Ember Spirit's typically seen as a favored matchup in the mid lane versus the Pango. Like, Pango doesn't typically get obliterated in this lane because once he has, like, level 3 and 4, he can just, like, swashbuckle and shield crash the lane. It pushes. He's chilling.
Yeah, though Pango being one of those heroes that has been very difficult to take out of the pro scene, has been hit with a lot of nerfs, so he used to have winning matchups. Now it feels mostly like, oh yeah, you get through the laning stage, you know, like that's just where it's at now. Though with the Tusk helping out, maybe when he rotates over, could shift things up before Ember has the remnants.
All right, swing and a miss on the hook there. Looking for the Phoenix. All right, that's exactly what happens. He walks up with Rot, tries to go for an auto attack, and Phoenix is like, no. How about not? I'm just gonna throw a fire spirit at you. That being said, Phoenix is 1 armor. Ooh. Okay, you need to pair this up with a Gush, 100%. If you get a Gush into a hook on the Phoenix and she doesn't have like dive or something, the Phoenix will die.
Yes, but Phoenix does have dive, so I don't think hooking Phoenix is actually going to even do much.
Time to go jungle, baby.
Yeah, unironically, I actually think this is where you just hook big creeps and speed up your own levels and farm. Hook someone out of the Lotus pool. Can't miss now.
That is a lot of damage. Hold on, Nature's Prophet. That's kind of a big one. Sprout to block off Dynamo, but Courier dead for the Phoenix now. Blood Grenade is out. He does have the dive, but with Pudge already being on top of you, this should just be a kill. As long as he can hit the hook.
Here.
Yeah, you are walking down a straight line. There's nowhere to go. Get it. First blood on the Pudge. Triple Nine did not think that dive through. He's like, haha, I'll be fine. And then he's like, wait a minute. Immediately realized the mistake.
So you can't go to the low ground since you can't see the hook coming, but I didn't expect it to go that way. That is some of the strength of Nature's Prophet, though, rotating in. Without him, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So good early movements. He's going to free up Pudge now, help secure the mid power rune. Hook onto the Pango now in the mid lane. Barely gets away. That's definitely 2 water runes going for Sin Compromiso now, and Pango's going to have to walk home in the daytime.
Super random question. Does nighttime still give bonus move speed?
Oh, that did get removed, didn't it?
I don't know. It's like part of me was like, I feel like that was a patch note, but I actually have no idea. Like that's
No,
one of
it
those
did.
things that was like might have been a fever dream.
I'm pretty sure it got removed in 7.38, but maybe I'm crazy.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. It's like, am I gaslighting you? I actually don't know. Mid lane, Benjamin. And ran down here by 2 big Bernie boys. Oh, come on, Genek. Why did you deny? You should have taken it. Should have taken it. Snowball in. Gets a deny on the ward. He pulls it back with a hook. Oh, God, that hurts. Hanzama ends up just donating an extra kill to Dark Mago and a flesh heap stack to the Pudge. They finally get the ward that was placed in the beginning of the game. They are now up 3-0, with the mid lane specifically being a pretty big disaster.
Flashbacks to the last game. Lane starting okay, but as the moves start happening, it's Sin Compromiso coming out a little bit more ahead every single time. 2K gold lead before it's even 6 minutes. A little bit scary.
Whoa. Parker, a very different build on the Lina from what we're used to. 0 points in the Dragon Slave, actually going 2 points in the Light Strike Array. And has 2 Falcon Blades. Double
2.
Falcon Blade. That's kind of hype. I don't think I've seen that. Mid lane, another kill onto the Pango. Thanks to the level 6 of the Ember. A little bit easier to get on top of this guy, especially with the rotations coming in from this Nature's Prophet. And, well, Tide definitely doesn't need help top, so Pudge continuing to just roam around and be a menace.
Let's see where Parker goes with this build. I mean, we got to see some cool Mask of Madness, Echo Saber stuff last game, you know? I wonder if he's got any ideas here for cool Lina items besides just 2 Falcon Blades. I mean, one's good.
I mean, it's a
better.
super efficient item. The reason it's like not picked that often is, oh, it's like, does he have Snowball? He does. Panda's dead. Nice kill going their way. I was gonna say the reason we don't see it all that often is because other heroes just actually need the slots, and it's like very difficult to slow down other items to go Falcon Blades. But for a carry Lina, like, it's actually kind of hype. All he really needs is treads and a maelstrom. Wow, they still get the kill. That's nuts.
He's back to the double hit like you pointed out this game, so a bit more right-click damage from the Ember.
Nice kill top lane here. They will take down the Tide, and in comes the Nature's Prophet. Maybe coming in a little bit too far. Hook.
Ooh, hook.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
still
The
dead.
Snowball will connect, traps him inside the shards. Genek, a good attempt, but unable to keep his boy alive. Nice 2 kills there from the side of ALLSTARS.
These are the fast moves from Sin Compromiso. Make the play bottom. You get the kills. Counterplay happens top from ALLSTARS, but, well, I don't know. I guess it's about even. Power Rune ends up going to Ember, though.
Ooh, awkward Ravage. A really nice snowball from Hanzama, but I don't know if it's going to keep them
Doesn't
alive.
matter.
They want to get the kill on
Oh,
Benjamin,
totally matters.
But Phoenix gets burned, and the Remnant barely off the mark. Good sidestep, but Sacred gets him with the gush. I mean, that went from being what was going to be a 3 for 0 into a 2 for 1. So really good snowball dodge there. But we're seeing the strength of the Ember once again.
Is it a snowball dodge? Or was it Ravage after snowball?
I mean, who really knows?
Oh, good hook dodge. Oh, that was not. I thought they were picking each other. I think it's Pangar just saying like, "Let's go." Okay, okay. Can they get the Lina?
Stampede into the Rolling Thunder. She's kind of tanky. Hold up. This build gave her a lot of health, but they do manage to finish the job, and now in comes the Tusk, the tag team, with this Pango into the snowball. Panda in some trouble. Swashbuckle on the mark. Now the dive in. Darkmago actually misses the Searing Chains. So they might be getting out of this completely.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, they see him.
Okay, they caught a side of him actually.
Dire's
Tusk is here to help get him out. So is Phoenix.
So is Phoenix. They're actually definitely afraid to commit here. Oh, Shard to actually put him on just the wrong side. Hook off the mark as a result. And now Darkmago will come in. Snowball with the Phoenix Sunray. And now the damage coming in from the Pango. For now, I guess they're just going to back away. Like, there's not a whole lot that they can do. Hook, hold up. He has no level 6, though, so there's no Dismember quite yet. But Benjamin in kind of deep. Darkmago running out of spells. Does have a Remnant, but doesn't have the mana for it. He might be in trouble. Pops, I think, a Fairy Fire. Gets the Remnant out. Hook once again. Genic this time gets his kill. Great Sprout there to block off these other heroes. Parker will just Laguna for some stacks and go back to farming.
The hooks have started to, the early hooks were just calibrating hooks.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get it out.
You need to be careful. You could still get dismembered or get hit.
He's going for first item Aether Lens on Genic so that he will be able to dismember those rolls. I think you can, I'm actually not sure if you can do it without any cast range, but it's much easier once you have any amount of cast range.
Yeah.
You have to be real careful of the rolls after that.
That plus, like, if you ever get the monocle or whatever, eventually, if the game goes long enough, you can end up having a really long-range dismember that catches people off guard. Mid lane tower is going to go down there. Darkmago gets the last hit. As Sacred is working towards Vlad's. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna watch Dynamo. I'm gonna see if we see the same Echo Saber Mask of Madness tech. He's getting close. He needs a little bit more money for the Void Stone, and then once you have that, you can swap between the two. Oh, they found Sven TPing out.
Yeah, I think they were mostly just looking for the Phoenix, and he's like, wait a minute, there's a Sven back here. So that's a really convenient kill. Bottom lane, Parker finally puts a point in the Dragon Slave. I feel like you just need it so you can get stacks of your passive.
Compare this to last game. Obviously the drafts are a little different, but in terms of setting up your carries, the Sven not given the same space, so he's not at the top. Whereas the Lina last time was like already 1,000 gold behind the Sven, but this time a little bit ahead, even on the top net worth spot.
Immediate egg comes out with the Ravage off the mark with the hook, but the Searing Chains onto 2, Remnant to dodge the egg. As Darkmago has an amplify damage, he nearly finishes off the Centaur, but will go the way of Sacred, and he will continue to chase. He knows he is a strong lad here. Slight will be able to dodge that. Yes, it is. Gets himself the double hit thanks to the Sven walking in range. Otherwise, the Phoenix might have lived.
They made it look like Stormhammer killed Phoenix.
It did, right? Oh, man. 4,000 gold lead now as they are continuing to snowball. I'm surprised Genic is as farmed as he is on the Pudge, but he has been involved in a lot of kills. 3-1 and
I mean, he's
6.
ramping up. He's ramping up on landing the hooks. Yeah, 3-1 and 6, and they've been important core kills for several of them. The Pango especially, and then that one on the. Actually, I don't remember if Pudge even made it in time for the one on the Sven. But either way, Compromiso is finding important core kills, which is what has let them get the 3 top net worth spots on all their heroes. Sacred, again, very different hero from Bristleback, but up at the top in a very similar manner as last game. This time with the
you can buy a
Tidehunter.
blink if he wants.
He's got it queued up. He's thinking about it.
I feel like saving for Shard is actually better than blink this game. TP out. Nature's Prophet will barely survive as he's going to decide to go take his own Wisdom Shrine. Right, like the Tidehunter Shard is so value this game against Centaur, Phoenix, against the Pango. It's pretty good. I think Stampede overrides it temporarily, but then you're still not going anywhere once it's on you.
He's opting for the Mage Slayer instead, just wants to walk up and be tanky, but he does queue up the Ag Shard and then the Blink right after.
Yeah, nice. Searing Chains into Dismember. There's going to be the Stampede, and Genic, he's kind of stuck here. Going to take a lot of damage. Great Shards block. Ember Spirit's going to come back in. He's really trying to find a hook target. Won't be able to do so. Dark Mago with this Haste Rune has a lot of space still to play with. Has a real deep Remnant here. As Sacred starting to rotate in. He's a few seconds away from a Ravage. Here comes the Rolling Thunder. Slight will dodge out that Rolling Thunder stun. As now Dynamo's coming through. God Strength is out. Sacred again has that Ravage to play with. Will he use it? He might need to. It's a little bit too late. Ember goes down. Sacred now burning here. Trying to chase Dynamo. He might get the kill. Panda gets him on the Sprout. TP in. Now the Sunray doing a lot of work. Benjamin gets himself a double as Parker not able to join his team for this one. Ends up being a 3 for 2. A good fight here from ALLSTARS, but still not really getting much out of the map in that process. Parker was just farming.
Yeah, same as last game, right? And Sacred, we see why he opted for that Mage Slayer, delivered in the middle of that fight. You had like 4 heroes surrounding him, and you just can't kill him. And now he's running down a Phoenix. I think he's about to dive a tier 3 for this.
No, Pudge is going to get the kill. He put the protractor to the screen there. Was like, hold up, 1 second, guys. Don't mind me. Gets himself his Aether Lens now. Chains out in the bottom lane. Going to do some damage here to the Tusk. Sprout should finish the job here as he does not have a blink. And, yeah, they gets it right there. Curse of the Old Growth into Sprout is just so much damage. It is insane.
At the same time, they stole some stacks from ALLSTARS in the ancient stacks in their triangle. Now going to clean up this tier 1. So a lot of the map is suddenly shrinking in the last couple minutes. You have 2 tier 2s left at 17 minutes into the game, and they're hitting one of your last tier 2s here. If you don't defend this, you're not going to have any farming space.
Well, top lane, they will find themselves a Nature's Prophet, but Dark Mago and friends coming in. Dismember onto Dynamo. LSA is going to cancel the TP out. Even a hook. There's the Laguna. They sacrifice Sacred Bottom as well as the tier 2 tower for this.
Sacrificed?
Rolling Thunder should be enough.
He's pretty tanky.
Pretty tanky. I do get it. I was gonna say, this Lina build is actually so good. Like, if you think about Lina, one of her biggest weaknesses is that she's supposed to be fragile. She has 2,100 health. Falcon Blade is 200 health each. You have a Dragon Lance now. She's gone for Brawny on the jungle item. So now has Tough, but she had Brawny before, so she had the extra HP there. Like, she's legitimately not an easy kill. It's kind of cool. Are we in a Falcon Blade meta now? What's going on here? What do you think? Is Falcon Blade going to come back?
Do some mental math on would it have been better to skip it and get other stuff instead? Because she is going to have to replace something now. You could replace the wand instead of a Falcon Blade. Centaur, supposedly a tanky hero, dropping pretty quickly. Like you said, Curse the Old Grove plus Spirit Vessel is a lot of damage from the natures, let alone the 2 farmed cores that are there as well. They're posturing for high ground, dude. It is 18 minutes into the game. They are looking at this tower menacingly.
Good add the word menacingly there. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he's tired of just looking. He didn't even wait for the creeps. He just walked in. Being tickled by the tier 3 tower right now.
I don't know what
man
to
shield.
do. Oh, they try to get on top of Lina. Yeah, not the easiest kill, but the long-range dismember is going to stop that Rolling Thunder for a while. There's the Ravage. Parker lives through it all. In comes BSK. A nice 4-hero stomp. He does not... He still doesn't finish the kill. Parker is still alive. There's the Vessel back out the other way. It's going to be a disaster for All-Stars. They lose 4, make it 5. A full team life on the high ground. And
I think that might be it.
That's, I think, is just game.
I mean, you
Look
don't...
at the damage done. 8,000 damage done from All-Stars, and they still couldn't kill the Lina. This build is actually, it's sick, man.
I think if she hadn't gone to Falcon Blades, it might have been okay just by nature of being this far ahead. But part of getting that far ahead was having the second Falcon Blade, which is kind of cool. Will it become meta for carries? I'm not so sure, just because Falcon Blade is really good.